a gas can with a totally practical, absolutely safe pour spout on it. Gas cans have had these type of pour spouts on them for years, decades, generations even. But government, wanting to protect us from the threat of attack gas can spouts, creates legislation and regulation that creates this sort of abomination. Something that you need basically a owner's manual and technical training to operate. This is a perfect example of why we don't need government, never have needed government. Politicians and legislations exist only to create more foolishness like this right here. This doesn't make anyone safer. It's just the stupidity of government. This is what statism does. And here is another gas can with a very practical, sensible, usable pour spout on it. Of course, the gas can has the old warning on there, as if someone who needs to know how volatile, flammable, and dangerous gasoline can be would actually read the warning. But anyhow, these gas can spouts, the old style, are absolutely practical, usable, and if you have, two brain cells, you know how to be safe with gasoline. Here's another can. It's basically the same model, maybe a little older can, made by the same company. Both got the obligatory warning on the side, but again, a usable pour spout. And then when government gets more and more control and makes more and more legislation, the king issues more decrees, you get abominations like this, thanks to government. This retarded crap. You got to have an owner's manual, a little sticker there on how to use this pour spout. Now, most of you are aware of the craziness with the whole gas can pour spouts, thanks to the government, and it's always wanting to keep us safe from, whatever, Big Brother. And there are lots of videos on the internet on how people ingeniously and practically find ways to modify these silly so-called safe pour spouts. They make them fully auto. No. And that's not my issue. My issue is that the whole gas can spout thing, where it starts out like this, makes sense, and then the government, wanting to protect us and regulate, has things like this made, and the king issues his decrees on how you shall be safe. I like to use this whole gas can spout thing as a great example of the way I used to describe government, and well, I still do, but the way I used to describe it years ago in videos and stuff, when I first was making videos about statism or anti-statism, anarchy and voluntarism, things like that, is I would always point out the fact that government is like when a village finds, outside of its village, it finds an egg, and it's a dragon egg. And it seems like, they take the dragon egg back to the village, and then the dragon baby hatches out of the egg, and all the villagers think how cute and sweet it is. And, this dragon can help us out. It can protect us from other people. It can do this. It can do that. We can fly on it and, ride it and fly and all this type of stuff. It can start fires for us and all this kind of good stuff. But in the end, that dragon turns around and starts to attack the villagers and starts, eating them and setting the village on fire and things like that. And that's the way government is. It may start out some statist system like the Constitutional Republic of America. It may start out seeming like a great idea, but it always ends up. It starts out, well, I'll just put a warning on the gas cans. The government requires a warning on the gas cans or something like that, to this kind of stupidity right here. And that is, gas can spouts is just a great way for me to point out the stupidity. The government never releases its controls. If it releases the controls of something or regulations or something like that, or drops one law, it will always trade it for something else. Government never lets go of power. The dragon never goes back to a sweet little cute little baby little dragon. It always turns into a monster. And you can modify these, and some people can find retro you know, or just old gas cans with these type of nozzles and put them on there. That's not the issue. The issue is that I can't believe that people think that government is any good for us at all. And, you know, speaking of government, here's a good homemade, it may not be government approved, but it's a homemade gas can receptacle that has its own built-in pour spout. And I think it works, you know, it works great. It has the pour spout, it's safe, there you go. Also, you know, if you you've lost the lid to it, you can always do something like this. You can always get one of these homemade gas can receptacles and put a rag in it, you know, as a lid. That's what I think of when I think of government. Yeah, government is a gas fire. It is gasoline. And every year, every time you elect your favorite politician, you're part of some cult of personality, and you elect some government or politician, I should say, and you support government. Every year that you do that, you're putting gas on the fire. Let's just walk away from government. You know, there was a walk away movement or something like that. Mitco, you know, the men going their own way. Well, we need the masses going their own way. And just realize this is what government does. People say, well, we got to have government. No, because it goes from just simple practical things in your life to start sticking its nose in everything, you know, for your safety. So as far as I'm concerned, I have never seen anything good that government does. Nothing government does that can't be done by the private sector, by individuals, by people voluntarily getting together and figuring things out and doing things together. That is why anarchism, non-statism is also called voluntarism. It's not about just, you know, making money or anything like that. It's about voluntarily involving yourself with other people, everyone of their own free will working together, because I believe humans do well when they stop looking to other people to rule over them and stop other people to come up with regulations to protect them from other people or from their own stupidity and things like that. When you handle gasoline, you're supposed to handle it safely. It's like driving your car, operating power tools, firearms, anything like that. Electricity, you've got to be careful. And the government cannot protect you, but the government always has to give you an idea of something. Oh my God, you know, some people have gotten burned by gasoline put in their lawnmower or something. So now we've got to, you know, make safety nozzles and, you know, all this stuff to keep the vapor from going back and blowing the person up or something like that, which is absolutely hilarious. We're all around gasoline every day, all day. We fill our vehicles with them. We fill our lawnmowers, our weed eaters and things like that with gasoline. We don't need the government. The government is about as stupid and useless as this nozzle, which I will be modifying. Why? Because fuck the government. When I first started making this video, I was under the assumption that the gas can spouts were all about our safety, to keep us from blowing ourselves up or setting ourselves on fire. I have since discovered that they are made not to protect us, but to protect the environment from the vapors and from spillage, to protect the earth from something that comes from the earth. So in 2007, the federal government, in all of its infinite wisdom, with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, declared by decree, by legislation, that by 2009, all gas can spouts would be made to prevent any vapor escapage or spillage. The brilliance of government trying to protect the environment from something that comes from the earth. So with their vapor lock design, it actually makes it more dangerous for us when we go to use these cans. But at least the environment is being saved. Thank you, federal government. Okay, this particular stupidity, monstrosity, abomination, you have to push it in and then push it down to get the gas out. And as you can see, it's a bitch. Push it in, you really have to push it in and use the other hand like that. So this is a perfect example of why brothers and sisters should not mate and create offspring that become gas nozzle designers. Okay, so this, by the way, 5-gallon can is full of gasoline, and you can smell the fumes. Oh God, they're going into the environment, the ozone layer. And by the way, when I say that gas comes from the oil, from the ground, I'm speaking, of course, of the oil, the crude oil. I understand it's refined and all this other crap. The point is, it's still dinosaur blood. It's still a fossil fuel. It came from the earth. It'll go back to the earth. Anyhow, so you can see here, this particular model, you can't just push it straight down. It's got the little ledge. You got to push it in and down. And it has this little plunger right here. I'm fixing to take care of that. Okay, this is what it looks like when you dissect this frog. It's got this little plunger thing here. That little spout, I don't know if you can see that on camera. Right there is where the gas goes into. And this is supposed to be the air vent, if you can see through that bore right there. And this right here, plunger, stops the gas from going into this, into taking this fork in the road right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to plug this hole right here, but I want this all open right down in here. So the best way I know how to do it is just cut that crap off right there and put this little booger in there. Well, I said I'd put it in there. Just like this right here. And there you are. And now I can use this right here. Open it up. And pour it out. See? No problem pouring it out. Oh no, I spilled some on the earth. Oh dear, the poor environment. You know, the only plague to the earth, the only danger to the environment is the United States government, the state governments, the governments of the world, all the mega corporations. They're the ones that pollute the earth. They're the ones that are doing the damage. Not some redneck or black neck or brown neck or whoever in the world is out here using the gas can to fill small engines or the cars up or things like that. We're not the ones damaging the environment in the first goddamn place. Okay, so I removed these two useless things, kind of like politicians. They're useless and need to be removed and chucked, never to be replaced with other politicians. I mean, other gas spout springs and crap.
Oh, hey, babe. They have instructions for you.
No shit, they do, don't they?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let's see. They actually have instructions on gas spots. Let's see if I can
On
get this
how
open.
to use the dumbass spout.
Yeah, important. Please read. StopGasFires.org. Yeah, let's see here. Oh my, look at that. Oh, it's got pictures and everything. You tell me a story. Innovative safety design. Safety technology. So this is about protecting you, supposedly. But like I said previously, I discovered in the middle of making this video that it was the whole under the guise of wanting to save the environment in 2007. So in 2009, they decided to make it by 2009 that there had to be nozzles that would stop fumes from coming out and to stop spillage, which is ridiculous. But, you know, there we go. They're going to protect us from fire. I'm so glad we have Big Brother looking out for us. Fuck the government. Okay, now that I have modified this nozzle and turned this can into a fully automatic, sawed-off flamethrower, it's time to get to using it.